Welcome to the making of a DM. Can I turn $1 million into $10 million in under 12 months in 2024? Hop on this train because it might be ending in disaster or it might be glorious. Who will know? We're about to find out. So with that said, let's get started.
I'm more Kevin's DM. I'm more Kevin's DM. I'm here to help and teach him what I know and how I did it. To discover freedom. There ain't no question more Kevin's when he step in the door. He's closing deals. Time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker. But I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker.
Hey there, it's your boy Mark Evans, DM. Thank you so much for being here to the making of a DM. That's right, the Dream Maker, Deal Maker podcast show. This will be the last show of 2023. Can you believe it? Hope you guys had an amazing Christmas, holidays with your family, connecting and hanging out. I don't know about you, but the truth is, it creates massive anxiety for me because so many people waste the last week of the year. And I was talking with a guy here in the complex. He's like, oh, I can't wait till January 3rd. That's when I'm starting. And I'm like, starting what? He's like, I'm going to start eating right. I'm going to start building the business I've been waiting to build and all this. And I'm like, dude, like January 3rd doesn't change anything. Like these are excuses. These are lies we tell ourselves and all that. Anyways, I'm not here to talk about that. I hope you don't set, I did a show last year talking about this, setting all these goals, January 1st, New Year's resolutions and all that stuff. The truth is these are just, you're setting yourself up for failure. If you're waiting for a day to set up, to make something happen, that day's never going to come. It's not the day, it's you, the individual. You have to work on yourself. You have to create daily structures, a daily environment of whatever makes you tick, however it makes you work, whatever motivates you. Use that chip on the shoulder to go out and execute relentlessly. But today's going to be positive, as all these shows are positive. I've been missing you guys. I got to get back on track with these shows. There's so many moving parts. I got a lot of companies I'm dealing with. They're crushing it. Two of them are not so good, but that's part of the game, and the part of the success is like cutting losses quickly, moving on, taking the L as a lesson, not a loss, but just keeping your feet moving. So today I want to share with you something I'm working on, and I'd love to get your input. I would love for you to message me on Instagram at Mark Evans DM. And if this makes sense and this is something you think I should pursue. So I sit around and watch. I'm a pretty good observer. I watch all these clowns talking about how they're crushing it. They're doing this, they're doing that. But yet, you guys don't know this. I own lots of different companies. No one knows I own. I'm actually involved in many different companies. And a lot of them have to do with financing. And it's interesting that a lot of the big players are messaging people that are on my teams about, hey man, I need 100 G's. I don't have any money. Like we know what there's in their bank. We see their banks. Like it's mind-boggling that these clowns out here saying the shit they say. So I started thinking about this. I've been in business almost 28 years. Actually, June will be 28 years, June of 24. This game is a game. It's a process. And, there's a lot of things I do different today that I didn't do when I started, and everything in between. But I want to talk to you about this because I really would love to know if this is something that would interest you. And what that thing is I'm going to take $1 million in 2024 and I'm going to turn it into $10 million live with you. I'm not going to charge you. I'm going to literally put you on a newsletter. I'm going to share with you the deals I'm looking at. I look at so many deals every day. I don't even realize what we're up to. We're just doing it. We're executing. We just do what we do. You know what I mean? So I'm going to break down deals. I'm going to break down deals I'm doing or not doing and explaining why I'm doing it or not doing it. And, it'll be high level. And then, if we go deep into one, I believe, because I've done this many times, that we're going to take down a lot of deals. I don't know what they look like yet, but they're going to be in real estate investing, short-term deals, right? Because if I got to take $1 million, the objective is to take $1 million and turn it into $10 million in cash and equity. Like you can't do like buy and hold a rental and make, whatever dollars per month plus have a little bit of equity. That's not going to get you to 10 million in a year. So I have to get and do what I do, deal make. So, different businesses that I always look at that are great cash flow businesses not necessarily great for enterprise value for exiting. Typically, they'll sell for like a 1x of revenue, and that varies too, depending on what vertical it's in. But let's say if I buy, start a company or buy a company, and let's say a company's doing $10 million a year, I could probably sell that company for $10 million. The EBITDA on that might be 30, 35%. Typically, agency businesses have high profit margins, very manual, very heavy. I wouldn't be the operator. I'm looking for operators to do that. I would come in with a little bit of capital and a lot of knowledge and an audience as well, and we would grow top line revenue very quickly. So I love those types of businesses because they're great cash cows where I could literally, I think based off of my experience, some of those I think I could pop off a couple $1 million fairly quickly just with that one channel inside the agency model. Now, it's not a model I'm excited about. It's not a model that I'm doing anything in the day-to-day, but there are people, again, not everyone's like you or I, and we got to remember that as we're on the up and coming, like everyone's like, dude, if they can make so much money, why do they need you? Well, you're thinking everyone's like us. Like we can take the hits, we can take the L's, ups and downs and all sideways. And not only that, maybe they'd rather have 50% of a watermelon than 100% of a grape. See, guys, business is it's an isolated game. You're cut off from the real world. You're kind of you got a lot of stuff going on, but really you're not connecting and communicating with a lot of people at a high level. So it kind of gets a little lonely. I'm not complaining. This is what we do. So, I look for guys or gals that are great executors and daily implementers. That's not who I am. I'm great big vision. I see the playing field. I know the players. I have team members I can bring in. I have massive enhancement value. And I put money in these too. Like money is a good value, right? Like people want money. Maybe they take a little bit of chips off the table. They can get a couple bucks. But yet I'm looking for companies we can take to millions quickly in a year. Again, the goal is 1 million to 10 million. Can you turn $1 million into $10 million in 1 year? So I would love, and I got more to share here. I would love for you though to pause this right now and go over to my Instagram at Mark Evans DM and shoot me a message. And in the message, just say podcast 10 million. Podcast 10 million. That's all I need you to say. And then what I'll do is if we come out with this, because I'm still talking with my team about it. This is a huge job for me, by the way. This is something I don't want to do. I think I need to do it though, because I want you guys to see what real fucking deal making looks like. Not some bullshit, hokey pokey, high-fiving, ass smacking around. I'm talking real deal making. What conversations really look like, where the deal came from, how much money is involved to get started. What is the company corporation structure look like? Is it LLC, S Corp, C Corp, partnership? What does it look like? Is there lawyers involved? Is there accounting firms involved? Are there VAs involved? What does it look like? That's what I want you to see. And if that's something that you think would be cool for you to see, like everyone's like, dude, I'm going to be a fly on the wall. Well, a lot of it wouldn't be interesting because a lot of it's up here. So a fly on the wall doesn't see what's in my brain. They would only see execution on typing or emailing or calling or audio or video like this, right? So I want to do like a weekly update of like, hey, I got $1 million. Here's where we're at. Here's how much is in cash. Here's how much is in equity. Here's how much is in play. Here's how much cash flow we're creating. I mean, I want to really showcase what's possible when you get focused and you dial your shit in and start executing the plan. So agencies is a great business. I might buy them, like I said, or start them. I love service-based businesses. I think there's a great opportunity to get involved in service-based businesses, a little bit bigger left. That real play would be in infusing some capital as well as bringing on some team members, more of a roll-up model. It might not be realized $10 million in cash by year one, but it might be realized 10 million plus and massive amounts of equity on the exit, depending on how aggressive we are in Q1, Q2, et cetera. So short-term investing on real estate. A lot of times I could take some of this money and put 50 grand down on a deal and it pops off 80 to 100 grand. I make 80 to 100% profit, give or take more or less, very quickly in 30-day cycles. The question is how much time is on my schedule to be able to be that active? By the way, this is all active income, active growth. I'm doing it to prove a point, to show you what's possible with activities. I'm not talking about parking $1 million and sitting around with your thumb up your ass and hoping and praying that you turn this into 10 million. It's never going to work. It never will work. But maybe I park some money in crypto. Maybe I park some money in short-term loans. And I'm talking business loans and short-term real estate loans. I do a lot of these every single day behind the scenes. So this would be on all newfound business. This would be where I'm able to deep dive. Like, hey, this deal came in through relationship capital. This deal came in from it's always going to be relationship capital. A buddy knew a buddy, or social media. Maybe you listening, you have something going on and you're like, dude, I want to be a part of this $10 million journey in 2024. And I have something that's working. I just need to add fuel to the fire. Maybe I'm the guy to help you do that. Maybe I'm not. That's cool either way, but there will be a process. And then what will be cool is I'm going to share with you the tools that we're using in these businesses. Like, hey, are we using QuickBooks Online? Here's the third-party accounting company we're using. Here's the VA service companies we're using. Here's why. Here's how much they cost. Here's what it looks like. Here's our monthly expenses. Here's our gross monthly revenue goals and targets and revenue. Like, obviously, there's certain things I won't be able to share 100%, because the last thing you want to do is share your competition, real-time competitive advantage. Like, that would be stupid. But I'll share enough for you where you definitely will get a massive insight of real high-level deal-making opportunities. And again, I want you to think about this. If you could turn $1 million to 10 million, if you could turn 100 grand into $1 million, whatever, 10x these numbers, how big can you get this? What does it look like? And the reason I kind of like this, not just for myself, but for you listening, is that in your business, you got a business and you're looking at it, and sometimes I get it. It's boring. It's fucking like, dude, I want to do something else. I hate this shit. But yet the truth is, you haven't really maximized what you're even doing because you've gotten bored with it, or you got frustrated with it, or you're just like, dude, it just doesn't tickle my pickle anymore, right? So what I want you to do is start playing games in these environments. Have you ever looked at your business and said, how could I create 3 cash flow streams from this business, right? I saw a guy recently, again, we just got done with Christmas a couple days ago. I saw a guy post like, man, I made 150 grand delivering trees, Christmas trees. He made $150,000 delivering Christmas trees in like a 3-week process. And I'm sitting there watching this, and listen, that's cool. But I think he left 400 grand or 300 grand sitting on the table. And what I mean by that is when I see things, he's doing all the hard work. He's getting the tree, he's getting the clients, he's delivering the tree, he shakes hands and he leaves and he's happy. But the real entrepreneur in me, the real deep dive business owner that I see, is when he does that. When he showed up to the house, they clearly pay for convenience. If you're buying someone to come over and deliver a Christmas tree for you, you clearly don't have enough time or don't want to go and cut down your own tree and all that shit. You pay this guy, he shows up. Well, guess what? I didn't hear him talk about making an offer to put the lights on the trees. I didn't hear about like, hey, do you need a stand for your tree? Hey, do you need what's that thing that goes underneath the tree, the round thing, like kind of like on the base? Oh, by the way, do you want some exterior lights outside? Like, I literally think his $150,000, he lost more money than he made. And I'm not saying what he did is wrong. I'm just saying this is what I do. I come in companies and I make them better. The people I work with are already doing all the real hard work. The easy work is a guy like me sitting down, non-emotionally attached, looking, saying, hey, based off of my experience of knowing, I've done this before. It's not like theory. This is like real world actionable stuff. Of like, hi, Nancy, I'm dropping off the tree. Yes, that's $100. I'll thank you for the $20 tip. By the way, do you have a tree base? By the way, do you have a skirt to go around the bottom of that? By the way, who's going to put the lights on your tree? By the way, you have a beautiful outside area. Have you ever thought about putting lights on this? And they're like, a very large percentage is going to be like, never even thought about it. Or, yeah, I just don't know who to call. And you're right there. You have them. It's just on one piece. By the way, who's going to pick up the tree? Who's going to bundle up the tree and put it at the front of the house? Who's going to bundle up the tree, put it in your truck, and take it off the property, right? That's an upsell, right? It's like, hey, sign them up right there. You just dropped it off for $100. They gave you a $20 tip. Hey, I'll come back $50, pick it up, clean it up, pick it up, toss it out. Or $100 even. It's only a couple $100. Listen, if you don't have that much money, you're like, dude, who the fuck would pay $200 to do that? Well, I would. My wife paid $2,500 for a fucking fake tree. So yes, I would pay that $200, as well as many people in my economical situation, because I'm not looking for, oh my God, I can't wait to go out and cut the tree down. It's cool. It's a great tradition. But unfortunately, we have fake trees. And our tradition is more like my wife puts the tree up. Me and my wife put the tree up, and then we hang the ornaments with the kids, and we light it up, and we hang out. We play Elvis Christmas music, and we talk about life, and we see, all the ornaments of the kids. Each year they get their picture on that with 2023, 2021, whatever. And we smile and we laugh, and we're like, wow, you guys are getting big. So there's many people, if they're willing to pay for that. Guys, again, the world we live in now it's been more acceptable now than ever. People are ordering food 24/7. They're ordering trees, Amazon. If you have any skills, any gumption to get your ass up and work, you could make hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars with a simple path like that. What's interesting, this guy doing the tree business, he literally is going to Home Depot or Lowe's, buying a $50 tree, delivering it for $100, always getting a tip typically, but that's just where he stopped it. I'm asking you, in your business, is this what you're doing too? 99% of people listening to my voice, the answer is yes. I don't care what business you're in. Do you know what really keeps your customer up at night? Well, Mark, you don't understand. All I do is HVAC. You kind of don't do that. That's what your service does. But what you really do is you relieve the homeowner of making sure that they have heat or air conditioning in their house so they can go to sleep in peace and comfortability. So you're actually solving a nice problem. But also while you're on site, there's a lot of other things. If they, maybe they need updated thermostats. Maybe they need updated the filters. Maybe they need duct cleaning. When's the last time your HVAC offered you high-level duct cleaning? When's the last time your HVAC company has offered them new thermostats, updated thermostats? When's the last time you offered them, let me go clean up your dryer vents? I mean, there's umpteen things that you could offer your prospect when you're on site. See, again, most of you are working so hard to get the prospect and the client, but that's where it stops. There's a lot of roofers out here. Listen to my voice. And, that's the world I come from. And I fucked this up for years. I didn't know what I know now. Back in 1996, I was doing gutters. That's all I did. And then I was like, dude, I'm doing more in gutters. I'm at the house. They're like, hey, can you help me fix my garage door? Yep. So what'd I do? I went out and bought a garage door company, All American Door Company. I bought that in 1996 at the end of the year. Bought it from a guy, went in there, boom, instant business. He did a lot of new builds. I hated new builds. Why? They don't pay anything. There's no problem. The problem is I just need a door up. The real problem, the real money is made in maintenance. Hey man, my mom just ran into the garage door. My car's stuck in there. I got to get to work. Emergency service, 3X, 4X, 5X, whatever the charge is normally, because they're paying for speed, convenience. Get this door fixed. I need to get out of the house. So understanding who your prospect is, understanding why they're calling you. So I did gutters, then I did garage doors, then I started doing siding, windows, and then you start working on foundations. I didn't do the foundations, I actually subbed that out, but I took the job, right? I was actually the GC on it and then subbed that out. And then you start talking about lawn care, hardscape, hey, I don't do that, but I know a guy that does, but they can write it under me and then I get a percentage of that sell. So I could take one client and turn them and make 5, 6, 7, 10 times the revenue off of one individual. And there's nothing weird or creepy about it. Actually, it's good. I have some work being done on my house here right now as I'm speaking to you. I had a bunch of ornamental stuff taken off. I had some stucco work done. I had the roof cleaned. I had all the house painted out, new tiles, pretty much the whole exterior is totally redone, right? And the reason I share this with you is the guy, his name's Flavio. He's a painter, but he's so much more than a painter. Like my assistant, Kim, again, I don't deal with this stuff. My assistant does, hey, this is kind of what I want, Kim. Here's the color codes. Here's what I'm looking for. And then she goes out and executes it, finds the people, whatever. Well, we found this great guy named Flavio. And literally, he's the most resourceful guy here in the community. He knows the roofer. He knows the cleaner. He knows this. He knows, just high-level professional. And he gets shit done. He's very resourceful. And guess what? I hope he's making money off of me. I swear on my life, I don't even know what we're paying him. I don't care. He shows up every day. They get the job done. You don't hear a peep out of them, and the work is top notch. That's what I'm looking for. See, the thing is, when I was broke, when I was poor, when I had no money but drive and hunger, I always thought everything was about the money. I didn't realize how to measure again. And this took me about 6-7 months to really figure out in the beginning of the game. Like, I would go to a house, I'm building a job for $120,000. Keep in mind, my dream was to make $100,000 a year back then. So $120,000 for someone to redo a bathroom and a kitchen. I'm like, dude, who the hell has this kind of money? Because where I'm from, your house wasn't even worth that much, right? And these guys are doing basic rehabs, like simple rehabs on their kitchen and bathroom. So it always was this little mind game that I played. But then I started realizing, listen, it's not about me. It's not about my limited beliefs. It's about, what does the customer want, right? I'm pulling up in a fucking shitty 1987 C10 truck with a ladder rack, ladders everywhere. This thing's got my, rainbow siding and windows or spouting or interior exit, whatever. I'm pulling up there. I went in there to get the job. I showed up. I was professional. I knew what I was talking about. I gave them clear communication. I gave them a price, and they got a deposit, and I got the job. I went in there doing that, knowing. And then guess what? When I started doing that, I started realizing there's a lot of money out there. And I could value my clients by saying, hey, you need your driveway redone. You know that, right? Yeah. I just don't know who to call. Well, I do. And I'll get the best of the best out here, and they'll be out here today. Are you cool with that? Absolutely. So it wasn't like, yeah, but they just gave me 120. I mean, that's another 25,000 for the driveway. It's like, yeah, I'm going to make 20% off of that. I made another $5,000 for an introduction. Oftentimes, I would make more money off the introductions than I did actually on doing the job myself. This is a true story. And anybody that's done this model knows this is true, right? So there's a lot of ways to skin the cat, if you will. But do you think I can turn $1 million into 10 million in 12 months or less? Maybe I fell. By the way, with this kind of agenda, there's going to be L's in this. I know what you're thinking, losses. Well, I call them lessons. And I think you're going to realize how quickly we move on from lessons. And most importantly, how quickly we release. Listen, a loss doesn't define who I am. A loss is part of the game. It's part of the process. See, too many of you take an L and you fucking soak in it for 6 years. Like, dude, it was so hard. You don't understand. I don't care. I don't need to understand your bullshit story. See, the cool thing is we've all created stories in our brain. Some of them serve us and some of them hurt us. You got to pick the story you want. My outcome is 10 million plus. I'm going to do 10 million or bust. That's my plan. I'm not sitting here playing Mickey Mouse games with Mickey Mouse people. See, like when you get a real focused action set, you literally, and by the way, this is on top of everything else I'm doing. I have like multiple real companies with many, many, many employees on top of this. This is like a side gig for fun, just to prove to you guys how to do this, how it works. And maybe it works or maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm full of shit, maybe I'm not. But I can tell you this, if I decide to do this, you'll find out firsthand. But again, you need to let me know over on Instagram at Mark Evans DM and shoot me a message in there and just say podcast 10 million. That way I know it's you. I'll get you, if I'm already doing this before this comes out or when it's live, I'll shoot you a link. Just sign up for the free newsletter. There will be no charging. It will be free to you to like literally look over my shoulder. And I posted on social media already. We've had hundreds and hundreds of replies saying, do this. We need this. But I'd like to know from you, the podcaster, the listening on my, you're listening as you're running, walking, jogging, whatever you're doing, driving. I would like you to stop for a second and go to Instagram and message me that podcast 10 million. Again, my podcast handle's at Mark Evans DM. But I do know this, you're going to learn a lot. I have nothing to sell you. Zero. You're going to learn like how I see the game. Most importantly, how I play the game. This is not shit I'm acting like I'm doing. This is not theory because I read a book. This is stuff compiled over 27 and a half, almost 28 years of execution, failure, re-execute, success, re-execute, failure, re-execute. Like, this is me doing the work. I'll give you the game plan. I'll show what it really takes. I see so many people out there acting, saying stupid shit like, dude, consult for equity, make millions. Huh. So you get equity for free doing nothing. Is it because you have no money? But you're acting like you do? Is that why you do that? Listen, it's cool to own 80 companies, maybe. Or it's way cooler to tell people you own 80 companies, by the way, than actually owning 80 companies. But why are you consulting for equity? Why wouldn't, if you truly believe in the company, why aren't you ponying up some money? Because that's how real players play. Now, listen, if you're in the beginning stages, cool, do it. But here's what happens. You draw in the wrong people. You draw in cheap mindset people. Like, dude, I ain't giving you no money. Okay, well, give me some equity. Keep in mind, you're dealing with the personality where they think their equity is worthless or they don't understand the value of their equity. So now you're getting 30, 40, 50% of their equity without giving any cash, without giving any real clear picture of what you're going to deliver for that. And is it on the upside of the top equity of what they're already doing? Like in revenue, is it, or is it a piece of the whole company? I mean, there's lots of variables of that. But I see a lot of guys out there teaching consult for equity. I'm not here to talk shit on them, but I just look at this and it reminds me of 1996 when I had no cash and no credit. I had to be creative because that's all I had. I had to be resourceful. I could do no money down deals or $1 deals, right? But that's what I had to do. That limits my opportunities. Why? Because not everyone's willing to do it. So if I'm a real business guy and I have real money and real revenue going on, why am I looking at a small population when I can go the hardest, smallest population, by the way, it's the hardest and smallest to deal with. Why not go to the big environment where, like, if you have cash, you have opportunity. Where you have knowledge, you have opportunity. I could give cash and money, take an equity stake, a minority even. And my minority stake could be worth so much more. And then I ask myself, do these guys just not have any cash? Well, from my experience, a lot of them don't. A lot of them literally make $100,000 a month and spend $120 a month to make it, right? They genuinely don't know really how to run a business. They just get people that are kind of gullible and like, oh man, you could have 50% of this. They don't know what they have. But yet they also don't know how to grow and scale and, deliver results, not to just the owners, but also to the employees. So I think that's one thing people don't realize is when you're taking over companies or building or you have people's lives in your hands. That's a huge fucking responsibility not to be taken lightly. These are humans that have children that are building their life inside of your idea and your vision. If you're out there recklessly just talking shit, doing the wrong things, not understanding what you're doing, you're putting not just yourself in jeopardy, but them in jeopardy. And these are innocent people just doing their job. So when I see all these people talking about this stuff, and again, not all are bad, but there's a lot of people selling you the wrong information. It's not just as easy as buying a company. Trust me. I shared last show, I had to shut down one of our companies we bought. It's a $1.2 million loss. And it was a quick loss because we saw damn, this is back quick. Let's cut it and move on. But this happens. But at the end of the day, I'm an experienced investor, business builder, and I still have losses. So if you're taking over companies and, without giving cash and all this shit and you don't have any real knowledge, what value are you really bringing? Just because you can sell it, just because you can get it doesn't mean you should. And and I'm sharing this not to knock you down, not to say don't do, go out and grow, but be conscious of what you're actually really doing. Because I don't think you understand the whole story if you're out there just recklessly trying to take over companies via consult for equity. Consult for equity to real players means you have no fucking money. Consult for equity means you fucking play with little time kids, little time players. And again, I don't think I've ever done consult for equity. I've always put some money in it. You always want the owner that's busted their ass for 8 years to get a little bit of cash to initiate the deal. Put yourself in their shoes. And I'm not saying it doesn't work. It can. I just think most people are going at it wrong. And I would hate for you to mess up your life. I'd hate for you to quit on your goals because you have a bad first deal. Because you're like, dude, I consulted for equity. It's amazing. I have 50% of a trash business. It's like, yeah, but it's trash. And it's not making money. And there's 14 employees. There's a lot of debt. a lot of hard work, a lot of human capital. Are you ready for that? And oh, by the way, it's negative 12,000 a month when you're coming in. So why wouldn't they give you 50% of equity unless they think you can save the company? It's usually on life support, typically, not always, typically. So again, I'm just sick of fucking tired of seeing that kind of stuff. That's why I've literally been talking to God about this. Like, dude, like, what can I do? I'm not looking to work more, by the way, but it's like, I want to help people that want to help themselves. I do 100% believe not everyone should be doing this, but if I can just share, you can sort yourself out through the process without you going out there making a devastating, deal and losing. If you can maintain to lose 1.2 million or lose 100,000, even whatever, like I just don't want you and lose the employees and then lose the respect and then lose momentum. I want to show you by example. I'm thinking it's going to be a once a week email. It's kind of my vision. I'm going to send you a once a week email, kind of like a pretty big brief. Get excited about it. I don't know the day yet, but I literally will condense all the workflow that I had that week, and I'll share with you deals that we're looking at, deals that we're executing on, deals that we're in negotiations with, and you'll see a balance. You'll see that million, where it's at. Is it in cash, stocks, not stocks, because I don't do stocks, crypto? Is it in short-term financing, business, real estate deals, etc.? Like, I want you to see this real time, real life. And most importantly, I'd love for you to ask questions. And I'll do my best to answer these questions as best as I can, because you got to remember, I have big teams, big lawyers, all this shit. So I got to be careful on some of the stuff I say or don't say, as well as I have partners and businesses that I'm going to be partaking in real time. So the last thing I need to be doing is exposing trade secrets or something that could, cause problems for everybody, not just me, but for them and the employees. So, but I will do my best. In straight up honesty, I will give it my all. I will share as much as humanly possible. There'd be nothing left unturned that you couldn't go out and capture these ideas. Like I said, me just talking about this Christmas tree guy, I don't care what business you're in, you can create 3, 4, 5, 10 streams of income off of that one client. I don't care what the hell you sell. I don't care if you sell dental. I don't care. It does not matter. It truly does not matter. When you put these lenses on of residual cash flow or referral clients and all this stuff, you could literally print money with the same exact clients you have. And there's simple ways to do it. There's harder ways to do it. Do you have technology to help you? Are you texting, calling, emailing? Or are you just old school getting on the phone? Or are you even older school just doing chest to chest? They all work. The question is where are you at in the journey? How big are you trying to grow it? How quickly are you trying to grow it? All these are factors as you're evolving into the game. So when you're sitting here and you're like, dude, I want to make, that's why I always say, don't try to make $1 million. Making $1 million is not hard to do in business. It's hard, but not really hard. Lots of people do it, but they don't keep $1 million. I'd rather see you go make 10 million, grow a $10 million business at 15 to 20% profits, and then you actually get to keep $1 million. I'd much rather have you become a millionaire in your pocket, not a millionaire on paper with gross revenue. It's way different. Trust me. So I know many people that make many millions a year, but don't have much money in the bank. Not because they're bad at money management. They just don't have a good business model with high profit margins that allow them to have the life that they want. They actually create a very stressful life, very debt heavy life, because that's the cycle they're in. Not knocking it. They're all, this is shit I would talk about. Like I shared already, agencies, very quick cash. I can grow an agency probably to 10 to 20 million very quickly. And when I say quickly, I'm talking 3 to 6 months. That's quick, and maybe even quicker than that, depending on the vertical, depending on the product and services and the agency work that they're doing, as well as making sure the partner is capable of handling that kind of influx and the team is prepared. Service-based businesses, it's not too hard oftentimes, depending on where they're at in their journey. If they're still using fax machines and all that shit, a lot of times we can go there and pretty much double their revenue. But the hardest part with those, the lift on that, is the owner operator. You're fighting them. Their ego is in the way. This is the way it's always been done. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, that's why it's only making this. Like, I'm trying to help you make it more, So, and not only that, You got core principles, you got values, you got your vision statement, like what's the team on board with? Because if the team thinks they only want to make 5 million, you're going after 20 million, these are totally different cadences. So this is stuff we need to get people aligned with. So different things like that. This is the stuff I want to share with you inside this newsletter. It's going to be part of the Mark Evans DM newsletter. Like I said, 1 to 10 million, 2024. I'm like 90% sure I'm going to do it, but you listening to this podcast show, help me push me over the edge is what I'm saying. If you follow me on Instagram, it's at Mark Evans DM. Stop this, go over there at Mark Evans DM and message me, say podcast 10 million. And I'll message you back with what's going on, if we're moving forward or not. And I'm so excited to be here with you guys. I really am. 2023 was a funky year. And the truth is, I think 2024 is going to be a fucking massacre for a lot of people. I'm not saying this to scare you. I just think, we have election year. It's already some goofy shit happening towards the end of the year. War could happen. Like, these are real things in today's day and age. It sounds crazy to think about. They're spending recklessly. They're giving money away recklessly. It's mind-boggling to me to be a business owner. I understand business. So, the country is a business, by the way. And the amount of money the government gets with all the taxation, the land of the free, there's nothing free, homie. You're paying taxes on everything. When you buy a car, when you sell a car, when you die, when you put gas in it, when you put new tires, it's taxes everywhere. And I'm all about paying taxes, my fair share. But at the end of the day, dude, I want to give it to people that actually know what they're doing and can get good results and help this country. We need help. And I truly believe everybody listening to my voice are the ones that can help this country. True entrepreneurs. We can give great people a great life inside of our vision. The smarter we get, the bigger we get, the more people we can lift up in our vision. See, let me be honest with you. When I was first starting out, my goal was $100,000 a year. That's what I was paying. I was paying people 10 to 12 bucks an hour. So no wonder I couldn't get 8 top players to hang gutters with me, right? You're dealing with fucking people calling off 3 minutes before you pick them up. They don't have license. You got to pick them up kind of thing, right? So, and they're not sick. They're hungover. They're drunk still. So you're dealing with that. But once I started leveling up and saying, dude, we're building $100 million a year company or 10 million or 5, whatever the number is, you really people can build a life in that. If the main guy's only trying to make $1 million a year and your top tier guy wants to make 500 grand a year, don't you think they're how can I do that with you? No, they're going to go to the company that's making 50 million a year because now they can make their 500 grand a year in that. That's what they can do. But everyone owns, everyone operates, everyone runs businesses differently. I just think I would like to share with you guys, because a lot of people are like, dude, Evans, what the hell do you do? Well, I do lots of things. But at the end of the day, I'm an investor business owner. That's what I do. I work my ass off. I'm here in the office. My kids are in the pool. I'm talking to you on a podcast show. I'm giving free value. I'm doing the shit that you do to succeed. That's what we do. We work. And some people are working really hard right now. It's just they don't have the results that they're seeking. Why? Because they just don't have the knowledge. They haven't invested in themselves. They don't understand that category yet, which hopefully through the journey of us, you being here on this podcast show, listening, the best investment you'll ever make is you, no matter what. I don't care what anybody says. If you're hanging out with people and they're like, dude, that's a fucking scam. If it's so good, why are they selling it? But I'm not saying all masterminds and people are created equal, but I can tell you this, you are the best investment. You can go buy a house and make 50% on your money, or you can invest in yourself and make infinite, insane, tens of thousands of percent returns over time. Because once you gain the knowledge, you can implement it and execute it every day for the rest of your life, right? So as I'm getting ready to end the show today, I would love for you guys to get to Instagram at Mark Evans DM, shoot me a message at podcast 10 mil. But just know that time is of the essence in life. I'll be 46 on June 19th. We have an event coming up as well for the birthday bash charity event we always do every year. So be on the lookout for that. But I was walking yesterday around my complex here in Parkland, Florida, and ran into my buddy. I've known this guy for 22 years. And I know his family well, and he gave me some news. And the news is his dad ain't going to make it. His dad's 83. He probably has a couple weeks left, and it sucks because we're all going to end there. And it's sad but also it's great because he lived a great 83 years. But he got some bad news 6 weeks ago, and he took the news like my grandmother did as a death sentence. Just doesn't have any more fight in him. He just kind of wants to tap out and move on in life. He's going to leave a lot of great kids, a lot of great grandkids behind, and he did his role. He did his job. But I'll be 46. That puts me, what is that? I don't have much time to get to 83, 30-something years, and that goes by quickly. So just take this information, execute fast, plug it in your business, fuck it up, figure it out, and execute consistently. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your future self. And it feels so good. It gives you so much more confidence knowing, listen, I'd rather know I wake up and I give it my all. Even if I fail, I'm more confident than if I thought about it and did nothing with it. Stop thinking, start doing, start executing. Let's fucking deal make. Let's crush this. Let's grow together. Hit me up, Instagram, @MarkEvansDM. Podcast 10 million. Appreciate you being here. I'm ready to kick ass. I am kicking ass. I hope you're kicking ass over there. Appreciate you. Remember, make today count. Peace!
I'm Mark Evans DM. I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. Time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker. The journey's where it's at. It's all about the process. It's time to get over to the DM project. From a small town in Ohio, so I know how it is. Did not come from a lot of money. I remember as a kid, wanted to make 100 racks. Didn't see no one making more than that. Graduated high school with a 1.8. Thought they should've held me back. I hope my principals and teachers are alive just to witness this. I'm my own boss. I'm out here running 2-8-figure businesses. I can walk away from it all and I'll be good, but I've been called to help people just like y'all learn the game. It's time to ball. Everybody chasing the money, but I'm not chasing the money. I'm out here chasing the purpose. Yo, I've been working my whole life. What got us where we at isn't gonna get us where we wanna go. So it's time to push, time to learn, time to grow. I'm Mark Evans DM. I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. Time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker. The journey's where it's at. It's all about the process. It's time to get over to the DM project. I'm Mark Evans here. Deal maker. Deal maker. Deal maker. Deal maker. Deal maker. Deal maker. DM project.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.